I will never understand why Reload did this to their protagonist, to Makoto. I will never understand why they strayed away from the original. They think
Remember, they have
Lobby
to make
was
this for modern
importable and
audience. The modern audience who can't handle dark themes. He doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't. He doesn't care about the coffins. But in a way, he does care about the outcome of humanity.
but with Reload, it's like, oh, he does care. Like they show, like he's a little bit more soft than what he was in the original. He's not the dick I knew that grow into the lovable guy.
Yeah, the original had writing that was made for a mature audience, but for this one, it feels like they were trying to tell everything to you.
This is supposed to be the definitive experience of P3.
We opening this door?
I don't care about the Bible cutting stuff. If they're gonna remove something, they need to add even more new things in return. I'm an open-minded person. I'm ready for change. Now you see, there's the problem because in change, there's the possibility of them changing things too much and straying too much in a different direction that might just taint the experience and make it a lot more removed from the original experience. You know, while there are some things that could be changed for the better, there's always the risk of things being changed for the worse or going in such a different direction that it just loses what it was. You know, it's not the original property anymore.
Yeah, let's not forget about the censorship that I keep joking about. Let's not forget about that. And as for Kuchiki, do you think they'll bring back social link skills? They will. They have to. Otherwise, there won't be an incentive to do these social links. However, as for the rest, my biggest concern is censorship, because you know that they're going to censor it. They're going to remove a lot of things because it's problematic in quotations. And
Yeah.
I hate that so much. I hate that word so much. I really do. Like seriously, oh yeah, problematic. Oh, it's problematic. Problematic to who? Problematic to you? Oh yeah, you see, this certain element of the game is made for a certain demographic of people who only plays games on their pastime or doesn't play games at all and stays on Twitter. Because you see, a lot of these developers always say this, oh, this is really important. Really important to who? To who is this catering to? It caters to no one. No one, normal, and when I mean normal, I mean people who have standards for their medium. No one fucking wants censorship at all. No one.
You see, regarding that censorship thing you're talking about, it's that you have to understand at the time with how anime was back in 2008, like Persona games are based off of the animes of their time periods. You know, P1 was based off the anime from the 90s. P2 was based off of the 90s and 2000s, and P3 was based on anime in that era as well. And so was P4 and P5, of course. They take anime inspiration.
Yes, but then they're
And
going to fucking censor it,
seen-
even though it's from the fucking
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. That time period of anime was literally like fan service, but also taking itself seriously when it needed to be serious. You know, lots of anime from 2008 and onwards did that, where they had fan service, but they took themselves seriously. And if they're gonna take that, they're gonna stay away from that original path.
Yeah,
You know, as I said before.
yeah, and not only that, but I think the Killer Kill creator is right. It's either you put fan service or your fucking franchise goes straight to shit.
There's always going to be stereotypes. There's always going to be, you know, the things that you see. Oh, the boobies, the jiggle physics, you know, or you have your like Sasuke's, you know, like Vegeta, Sasuke copy of Vegeta. You always have those kinds of tropes within anime. The tropes are fine. And to the judging, like there's one person I know who literally goes on about P4 being, oh, it's so anime. I've seen the tropes so many times. I'm sick of it.
And not I know that video. I know that video you're talking about. And surprisingly, not surprisingly, that guy is Yeah. Anyways, about the new voice actors, Kuchiki. About the voice actors. I bet new voice actors can't save the entire game. Damn, old man. Your younger trope I've seen too many times is overused. Yeah, that's the problem with the people who criticizes anime for being anime. It's fucking stupid. Anime had this because it caters to young men who wants something that is fun and entertaining. And the idea of fun and entertaining is fan service, action, sense of adventure, a good message, a good story. And if it's a game, then it's a good game.
And as for the voice actor thing, the voice actors didn't really save Persona 3 Reload in general. There are times where recastings are good and that I genuinely do love it, and there are times where it's not beneficial at all. And it kind of just stays away from the game even further. I really have this issue with Reload, where it's like it feels like the voice actors they picked is just tonally different with how the characters were portrayed in the original and in the spin-offs.
Ace Detective? You're so dumb. More like Stupe, Ace Defective. Ace Detective? Are you stupid or something? More like Stupe, Ace Defective.
I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, for example, let me make this example with Makoto. In Reload, he's a soft boy who only speaks softly in battle, like Persona. You know, he whispers and he goes Persona. But in P3, the original, he would really scream his ass off. He'd be like Persona. You know.
What to do?
Yeah, that's why I tried to argue the other day with the old actor with Yuri Lorenzo that he had fire in his battle cries, but then now it's just Persona. Like, oh, what is this? Some soft fuck.
You know, it's funny because they literally, and the Japanese actor also had a similar performance. But you know what's so funny? They literally take that and they implement it into the movies for Makoto being kind of, upset that the Dark Hour was going to end because, he wants to spend more time with his friends. But he also does genuinely enjoy fighting. And with the original P3, you can tell based on how he screams and how he calls out his personas that there is a genuine love for battling within his battle cries. Makoto loves it. He loves fighting.
Yeah, definitely. He loves fighting. It's literally there, and it's even in his Japanese voice acting too. Because I played through the Japanese dub of Fence before when I had the disc for it. He definitely had fire. When he got hurt, he sounds like he got hurt, and not what to do.
Yeah.
Persona.
But the way they took the direction, not only for the Japanese, but for the English, specifically for the English as well. The actors, I feel like they did their jobs. They did a pretty good job, but I have my problems with FUUKA, with Makoto. Goddamn, Mitsuru's fine. It's like I could really go on a whole rant about why FUUKA's new VA doesn't really do that good of a job with her character, but
the thing is about FUUKA's voice actor is that even though they got a new voice actor in Arena, she sounds more FUUKA than the FUUKA here. Because the FUUKA here doesn't sound that awkward. She's supposed to be socially awkward and incompetent, but also nerdy, and somehow does her job, somehow, despite being a FUUK up.
Looks like fire will work great. Yuri just said I can't do anything right now. Huh? Leader, say something, please! Give me a sec. I'll scan the target. Mitsuru-senpai is unconscious! No! Please get up! Oh no! The enemy!
Yeah. No, it's funny, Boofadine. I noticed this in the beginning of Reload. Is that there's an extra line that they add when Yukari, when the shadows are coming after you break into office, he's like, I gotta save Yukari or I gotta protect her. But like I said, in the original, there's no line like that.
Is it over?
No, that line in the movies.
Yeah, the original had writing that was made for a mature audience, but for this one, it feels like they were trying to tell everything to you.
It's like they expect. It's like, oh man, our audience. We can't cast our audience to know. Like they can't make the insinuation themselves. They can't. They can't think for themselves. We have to coddle them with this kind of extra dialogue.
Yep.
Just put it to my head. And then pull the trigger. Come on. There's no way, I can't!
Anyways,
Oh,
what
there's
did
also
what did
extra
Carl
things.
say? What did Carl
It
say?
also
Instead
say
instead of Atlus giving everyone remake fatigue, they could have given a new chance for the old school RPGs to succeed in other places outside Japan. What they could have done was port, not remaster, mind you, not necessarily remaster or remake, but port the original game onto Steam and modern consoles. If they still have the source code, if they preserve it right, they can do it and let people experience the
which they,
game originally.
which
That's and
which
of
they
course apply
technically should,
fixes.
because Atlus archives their stuff. Atlus really archives everything.
Alright, so they're not like Criterion where they literally treat their old builds like shit.
Nope, they archive their documents. Like, they archive their novels, they archive their games, their builds, their demos, they archive everything, Atlus.
Okay,
That's what they do.
then it's very possible that they could have just ported it to modern consoles and PC, and of course make sure that there's no game-breaking bugs. And then there you go, there you have it, a modern experience of a classic, and not this revision. Because this remake crap basically tells the audience that old games are shit because they're outdated, so you should embrace the new always. That is not what you should do.
The moment you realize all new games have internal monologue for the player character, the player character on the level of, I need to go check this out.
That moment when you realize that,
cannot.
yeah, I know, it's annoying. Because why does everyone has an internal monologue? Dude, don't rely on the internal monologue of the character. Internal monologue yourself as a human. We as humans are gifted with the power of an internal monologue, to think for ourselves. Why the fuck do we need a game to make us think for us and treat us like a moron? It's crazy that new games have this internal monologue, basically babying the player. And this isn't even an anime issue; it's a issue of every fucking new game out there. Every new game has a protagonist who will say, I must do this and that. I must blab on. I must yap. I must yap. I must yap about everything. I must yap about how, Ring of Eminence. Golden briefcase. Diamonds. Oh crap, I've been spotted. Oh no, I've been spotted. Huh. Insert Reddit quip here when I defeat an enemy. Huh. Hacking Hozarimo. No, fuck that.
I was gonna say before you went on that whole rant, it felt like it was, with how we watched the first P3 movie. We watched all of them, but the first one I liked the most because it's the most accurate to the original source, right? It's like you can tell that Makoto does not care for himself. Talking about the game here as well, that Makoto does not care about himself. He doesn't care what happens to me, but he does care for others, right? So it's like, even though he doesn't care for himself, he still cares for other people around him and wants to protect them. And you can see, based off of the first time in Fest and in Portable, when he awakens to his persona, that drive to just help someone kicks in. He doesn't be like, oh, I need to save this person. It's just like, nope, I'm gonna save them. You see it in the movie, you see it in Portable, you see it in Fest. You don't see that I need to save her. You can make the implication for yourself that he wants to save her, that deep down that he does care for people, even though from what we've seen so far of the protagonist, he's a quiet loner that doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Yep.
From our first impressions, but you see with how he literally charges into battle in Fist and in Portable that he does care for people and that he protects Yukari for this very reason. But in the real world, they're like, oh man, they make him care. Like, they make him care a little bit too much. He's like, oh man, what are these coffins? What is this? He's not supposed to care.
Yeah,
he's supposed to move.
Yeah, he never
on, but
commented
he
on the
shit.
coffins neither. When I play Fest on stream, you will see he doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't. He doesn't care about the coffins. But in a way, he does care about the outcome of humanity. That's Makoto's character. He is literally me, guys. Nah, just kidding. He is literally a type of character who is depressed because of certain circumstances in his life that he cannot control. He is stuck on that, but he wants to grow better. He actually cares about that. He cares about people that he loves because he doesn't want to lose them. He cares about humanity because he doesn't want to see humanity turn into this apathetic, soulless Gollum mess that we see. And
Yeah.
that is actually quite an accurate description of someone who wants to be a hero but has limited choices to be one, which is actually something that aged very well in Persona 3's themes. Because that's a thing we see every day. A lot of men that we see nowadays that get villainized by the media are not, you know, this disgusting incel who wants to destroy humanity. No. They want to be a hero. It's just that there's no fucking place for them. And there's no reason for them to be like that anyway. They don't get paid. They don't get paid enough to raise a family. Even if they do, women don't want them because we're not supposed to have a family anymore. So we now have a generation of men who wants to be a hero but has no fucking reason to do so and don't have the means to do so anyway. So Makoto's character literally aged like fine French wine from a chateau.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Makoto during the awakening needs 1 second to look at Yukari, then immediately rushes towards the shadows. And during the monologue, he doesn't even say anything. It shows how he does it without thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, literally, that's literally he's like that. He's very sacrificial. He's very like he's not a what is the word for it? I forget the word.
He's
But
a
selfless.
messiah.
Yeah, he's a very selfless person.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
messiah
he's a very selfless.
it's a messiah-like figure. You know, he's ready to put others, you know, rather than
He's
himself.
willing to put himself at risk for others. He doesn't need this extra monologue. This is my problem with the reloads, with how they characterize Makoto, is that they make him seem like he's already like kind of caring. Like he's not like the I don't care kind of teenager that you can see him. Like if you look at the original art from Makoto and how his character is with the dialogue, he's kind of a dickhead in the original. You know, he insults at some points here there with the dialogue options, or he says, I don't care. You know, he's kind of like that. He doesn't really give a shit about a lot of things, but in the reload, they change the dialogue up to make, and with how he is in the reload, they make it seem like he cares a little bit more than what he originally does. And that's my problem, because he's supposed to grow into it as the game goes on. He's supposed to go from, oh, I don't give a shit, to, yeah, I actually care. I want to protect humanity. I want to protect my friends. But with Reload, it's like, oh, he does care. Like they show, like he's a little bit more soft than what he was in the original. He doesn't grow into it that much because he's not that much of a recluse in the Reload.
Yeah, no
And that's my
shit.
problem with how the
Yeah, he's
character.
and with the new Makoto, it feels like he's more like you or Ren, who just makes friends, which is beyond the point because in P3, Makoto's friendships are always on the verge of fucking breaking because he's either an asshole or he becomes apathetic.
Senpai?
You can even
Makoto, because
see
he's
it.
one of the only few Atlus PROTAGs, like actually not like Atlus, but the modern Persona PROTAGs, who's genuinely a dick. Like this dude is genuinely an
Yeah,
asshole.
yes, and that's
but
why
he
I
does-
called him. That's why I
he's
called
a
him
fan
Makoto
of
Tenten.
Yeah, but in Reload, you just don't see that. He's not the dick I knew that grow into the lovable guy. That grow into a person that genuinely gave, that actually cared about people and went on to literally protect humanity and his friends as he grew.
Yeah, I like Makoto too, because I think he's unique in the way that he's a apathetic, depressed teenager, which is pretty much literally me.
Yeah, don't forget the asshole part.
Yeah, don't forget
being
the
a dick.
asshole part. Don't forget the dickhead part towards everyone. But he's actually a guy who cares. He's not a perfect protagonist like you or Ren, where he becomes friends with everyone and he's the ultimate Giga Chad who rizzes up the entire neighborhood. He's not like that. Well, he does rizz up the entire neighborhood. But anyways, you can still fuck up. And if you fuck up badly. He's not a perfect guy. And that's probably the only Persona protagonist that does that. But then now with modern Atlus protags, like with you, Ren, and now Will fucking Metaphor, we're never gonna get another Makoto ever. But of course, Will never rizz any woman in his life because he's too busy fucking the prince. Insert edit of Makoto Yuki being another literally me character in a good way, of course. You know, he
Yeah.
can he even
A
drive
good
a
literal
car?
character.
Can he even drive a car? I don't think so. Whatever. He doesn't drive.
And
He doesn't drive.
he can't drive a car, but you know what he can do? He can drive a bike because of the movies. Wait, wait. But in the game, he literally tells Mitsuru to teach him how to ride a motorcycle. Never mind. He doesn't know. No. He doesn't have no driver's license. In Reload, it makes it look like he's a buffoon. He's like, oh, what are these coffins?
What are
What
these
is this
coffins?
coffin?
What
But in
is this?
OGP3, it's like Makoto. It has been aware of the Dark Hour for over 10 years and hasn't acknowledged it because he doesn't give a shit. So why is it in Reload that he does acknowledge the coffins when, realistically speaking, he has seen the coffins before, but he doesn't. But he shouldn't give a shit about it. And you see this within OG Fest and Portable as well. Literally walking past coffins because it's like, oh, I'm used to this. And even movie Makoto does that. So why isn't that real Makoto? And it's like, what is this? Like, you should know what it is.
Yeah.
You've seen the coffins before.
That's something that
You know?
that bugged me because it was suggested in the story that Makoto himself he saw the coffins ever since he was young. So why is he baffled now that he sees coffins when the Dark Hour was around for a long time? It makes no sense. He experiences this every night, and he doesn't give a fuck until now.
Yeah.
So he's like, "What is this?
Doesn't give a fuck.
What's this?
Like,
Roulette?"
Like, he listens to his MP3, and then it's like, and then it tells him it's midnight, and then it's midnight. Oh, all the technology stops. I don't care.
Oh no,
And he doesn't
the
give a shit.
technology stops.
1
I don't
hour,
care.
then it's 12. Yeah, then it's 12 again. Then he's like, oh, okay, whatever, I suppose, you know.
Yeah,
And
whatever,
he goes
I
like,
suppose.
What is this?
Yeah, he turns
Awesome.
into FUUKA. He turns into FUUKA in Reload for some reason. What's this? Roulette? What's this? Coffins? Oh no, I feel something bad from these coffins.
I will never understand why Reload did this to their protagonist, to Makoto. I will never understand why they strayed away from the original.
Because you have
And
to
made him different enough to make him feel like a different version of Makoto, where it's very different
remember,
to
they
how
have
he
to make
was
this
in
for a modern
Portable, and
audience. The modern audience who can't handle dark themes
Yeah.
at all. That's why they put a fucking disclaimer on an M-rated game.
because they want more.
Dude, when Manhunt 2 came out, adults only version
Yeah.
of Manhunt 2, uncensored on PC came out. There is no disclaimer at all. You boot up the game, it boots you straight to the fucking menus after the logos and intro cutscene. There's no disclaimer about warning, this game contains extreme amounts of violence and extreme amounts of gore. No, they don't say that. It literally just say Rockstar Games presents Manhunt 2. They're not even gonna post this on YouTube anyway. It's literally through fucking Steam. Steam has much more disturbing games, or rather, not really disturbing, like more like mature games in it, you know? Dude, they have the original Manhunt on there. There's no disclaimer. They didn't have to. But now we're supposed to, or else we get banned, I suppose.
I do understand why
Even
Atlus.
then.
I do understand why Atlus made Reload the way it is, but like, I'm still not happy with straying away from the original author, from the original author's intent.
Hold
All
on.
the people who worked on the original PT and the intent of the game.
You don't need to feed someone who doesn't play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You don't need to feed someone who doesn't play the fucking game. Because a lot of these new fans, quote unquote new fans, they're not new fans at all. They're more like people on Twitter who bitch about anime for being too sexualized or having disturbing plot themes, even though the plot theme is really just bog standard for an M-rated game. So they're trying to ruin a medium that we love for a group of people who don't even play the games. Meanwhile, those who are new fans like me and you here, who has only been in the community for like a year or so, a couple years at best, we love the fucking franchise for what it stands for and from where it originated. And what, you know, and what it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
I love the games. I love the games for what they are. I love the originals and I love the remasters. I literally am a sucker for the OG versions of these games and their re-releases. It's just that with this remake, I was severely disappointed at how much it strays away from the original author's intent. Everyone who worked on P3, from Mr. Hashino and Soji Meguro, you know, and everyone else, it's weird. the tonal shift, the dialogue swapping, how they changed the social links. They literally were like changed whole ass social links. I don't think the guys in here know this.
Yeah, and the weird
Like we
part,
saw this, we're like,
yeah,
what?
and the weird part about this, the thing is that a good amount of people were from the original PhD crew. However, there is a single part that people miss out, that a bunch of the new PhD stuff was also made by newer Atlus people. So this was a testing grounds for newer Atlus recruits, which means this isn't really by the original developers.
In the credit,
it's only a few. There's only a few
exactly.
OGs.
If you look at the credits, I really thank the original staff. Yeah, only a few. Kasahiro Wada is literally one of them, and he made the game in the direction that it is now. And he's literally worked on literally most of Atlus's catalog. He's been there like since the 90s. He's worked on P1, P3, P4, directed some of the games. And yet this is what he does?
I wasn't here from the beginning, and it still hits me like a Hiroshima. Exactly. You notice the differences right away, and people likely ignore it. They're like, what's this? I don't know what people are talking about. You know, this is just something. It's just nitpicking. And I'm going to rant about people who says it's just nitpicking. It's not nitpicking when later adds up to the bigger fucking atmosphere that you're nitpicking. The problem with the people who say that you're nitpicking is that they're trying to say that you're nostalgia blind or whatever. So you're telling me that I need to not be a nostalgia blind fan to be able to criticize something. That's not the basis of a healthy debate about the game, because what you're doing is that you're just silencing criticism for a game made by a fucking company trying to sell a fucking product. So you're just shutting people up for no reason. So you're telling me that in order to have a good, respectable opinion on PS3, I have to actually not play the games beforehand? And you're telling me that but here's the thing, I'm a new Persona fan. I only started playing Persona since 2023. So what you're telling me is that I'm still nostalgia blind for a franchise that I didn't even grow up with. They just don't want to admit that they're shitting out for a corporation because they want to defend their $70 purchase. And the more people that are like this, the less quality games we'll get, because it's just sending the developers a message that they don't need to put in that much effort, and people will eat it up. They'll eat it up like my dog eats his own shit because he thinks it's tasty.
It's funny considering the fact that I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to remakes in general. In fact, I'm quite positive for the Final Fantasy VII remake. That's a case where the remake's actually done right. While I don't prefer it over the original, I can see I like it a lot, and I like OG FF7 a lot. And when I look at Atlus, when I look at P2, I'm like, what is this? Like, genuinely, like I said, I'm not opposed to the idea of remakes at all, but it's like, really? This is supposed to be the definitive experience of P3.
Yeah,
guys. Yeah, you're nostalgia blind. Remember, guys, let me let you guys in on a little secret. I only became a Persona fan in 2024 around January. My first game was Persona 4 Golden, and you know what? It was literally when the Reload came out when I played Persona 4 Golden. Oh, but I'm nostalgia blind. Clearly.
Yeah, P4 Golden.
Clearly, I can't make good constructive criticism for him.
P4 Golden was also my first game.
Yeah, I played it and I enjoyed it, and I kept watching. I kept looking. I was like, Reload is a departure. I was literally looking at it. I was like, this game is so weird for a remake. And I started to notice how the YouTube algorithm was getting flooded with Reload, and I was like, huh, what? And I didn't play the original game.
Yeah, and they were trying to cover up the original Persona 3. This is just part of their plan. They want to bury the original and treat it like it's a piece of shit. Like every single time you see Persona 3 get mentioned, they say reload, reload, reload. Like what?
I genuinely want you guys, for those in the chat, I want you to do this. Go to your search bar on YouTube, search up Persona 3, just base Persona 3. Don't add reload, don't add anything. Just add base Persona 3.
Yeah, just say Persona 3.
And you'll see how reloaded pops up. Yeah, or any song for that matter. Second part, I want you to search up a song from Persona 3 and
search up Persona 3
immediately.
Mass Destruction. Just search up that and tell me what happens to your search results. Tell me what YouTube gives you. Look at it. Look at it.
First thing that pops up when I search up Persona 3, Persona 3 Reload. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Persona 3 Reload. What's this? Persona 3 Reload, but it's from Bufudan. Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload Peak. One video that video with how Persona 3 exposed death, only one original video. Let's see, Color Unite, reload, shorts, reload, one portable, shorts, reload, review of Persona 3, reload, one portable video, of the blue of Persona 3, which is just one.
The reload
just an
version pops
OG.
up first. See, look, Carl confirmed it. Reload pops up first. Literally, reload. It's always fucking reload. They're trying to bury the original, thinking that like it's a piece of shit that deserves to be forgotten. Like it's supposed to be a relic of the past. I hate it. I hate it so much. Why are we treating the past like this? We're just gonna forget about everything that the original creators have made. No, but it's problematic.
So let me get this straight. Me preferring FUUKA's voice is me being nostalgia blind. Oh no, guys! OG
no.
FUUKA voice is nostalgia blind. Ooh. When FUUKA, like, there's another thing I like to say is that people say that FUUKA's real VA is a genuine improvement. I think that's blatantly fucking wrong. For the very exact purpose that FUUKA is supposed to be a weirdo. She's supposed to be weird. She's supposed to be that dorky girl that you would think is weird in the Reload. They made her cutesy with her voice. She's more cutesy than weird now. She was supposed to be the weirdo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and of course, and she loses her incompetency a bit. But don't worry, when we get to the Joker fight, I'm sure that FUUKA will be incompetent and not give me concentrate in charge and throw the entire run into the fucking basket.
Exactly. She was supposed to be the weird girl that you would think is weird. She sounds like literally her voice matches her being that weird girl that you would be like, huh, why? She likes computer, man. And not only that, but she's supposed to be an incompetent navigator compared to the later series navigators. That's the point. But the Reload is just like, oh, let's make her cutesy. You know, players will fall for her cutesiness now. And maybe she is a bit of a weirdo, but not really. The weirdo part wouldn't really add up that much now. And ooh, she's now a good navigator, like a really good navigator, and not incompetent.
Cancun's in trouble! Cancun's in trouble! Cancun's in trouble! Red is bad luck. I hope it doesn't come up. No!
While I do respect Atlus, Persona 3 for saving Atlus, and it might, yeah, I do respect it. It's not my favorite game, but I respect it for what it did and what it paved the way for my favorite Persona game that came right afterwards. And I'm glad Reload exists. It saved the company, and we've got some genuinely amazing games like SMT4, SMT5, and Vengeance. We got Persona 4 and everything else that came afterwards. But man, is this game divisive when it comes to the remake?
Yeah, it's weird because people for some reason defend the remake blindly. Some people, that is. Now there are also some people who criticize it. But it seems like the Persona community can't really make their own opinion because when Nom's compendium says that P3 Reload is a disappointment, they agree. But when you have someone else, they completely get shitted on. I forgot that guy's name, but he made a video. It was called Persona 3 Remake is Worthless. And he does pull up some great points. I just wish he puts up more points and goes more in depth with it. It's just he didn't. But he gets shitted on so badly that it feels like you're just discrediting him completely. Like you're telling him that he's just an old man who's nostalgia blind, even though he has completely played other Persona games, including Persona 1 and 2, in his fucking YouTube channel.
Yeah, literally, I watched these videos on P1. He literally played the PS1 version with the shitty translation and the PSP version. He did the same for P2 as well. And he says P3 is his favorite Persona game, and he's played literally Portable, this, and the original. And people just like, oh, you're nostalgia whore. You don't like it. You're just mad. You don't like new things. People literally remember that one comment that went like, oh, you can tell that this guy is nostalgia blind.
Yeah, I hate that so much. It's such a fucking straw man. The problem here is not the nostalgia blindness. The problem here is that the game is actively trying to shut down the old version of the game and trying to condition its fans into doing the same fucking thing, in which it did. And it's trying to say that it's faithful and it's the definitive experience, when in reality it is not. It's far from the definitive experience. It changes too much. It doesn't add in the additions for portable. It doesn't add in Margaret. It doesn't have FMC.
It's funny how you see other fan bases. They're like, "Oh man, I love the remake. I started with the remake, but they're like, I respect the original," and they play it and they're like, "I genuinely love the original and the remake." It happened with Final Fantasy VII, but then there are people. I was just about to say the N word. As I was saying, they're like, "Oh man, P3 RR is the definitive way. It's on every modern console. It's more accessible. You can actually control your party members." Oh, if I had to go into that controllable party members shtick one more time, I'm gonna fucking crash out. It's like people are so incompetent to even try and use the tactics system. It's not as bad as they think it is, because you can literally control the party members properly if you genuinely try to learn how to use the tactics system. It's not that hard. I did that, and I genuinely had a fun time.
People who are in the Persona fan base, even though they say that they respect the original, a good chunk of them don't really. They just want to remove the problematic stuff, quote unquote problematic. Anyways, back to the comments. Before this stream gets sniped by Atlus and their snipers. Bro, it's crazy people can just dismiss others without addressing their arguments. Exactly. Because normies, they don't have opinions. What normies do is that they find a winning side and they stick to the opinion of the winning side. And in this case, the winning side are actually the people who praises Reload to be the definitive edition. Anyways, even more. Bro, am I cooked for coping? It's much harder to ruin P4 remake comparing to P3. It would be harder to screw up. It would be harder to screw up P4. No, they will screw up. There's gonna be a massive censorship wave. There's so many things in that game that doesn't fly today because people are sensitive.